I already, hey. Listen,
I was about to give you 5 minutes like you're supposed to do the teacher. So you only gonna get 30 minutes out of me today.
that's okay. That's all I need. That's all I need. About 30, 45, 50, somewhere around there. How you
Nah. You get man, I'm hungover as fuck. I'm
doing?
done.
What was you doing, man? To be
Drinking
hungover
hella
like
drinking hella tequila.
that? You'll be all right.
Yeah, I will, because I'm about to go right back to sleep. What's going on? Welcome to the Sunday Town Hall. We are going to be changing the format here on out. It will be more debate focused. People will get their time to speak as we speak on topics. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just I've been having a lot of different debates this weekend with just different people concerning what's kind of been going on
Eh,
overall.
Yeah, some people like that shit. I mean,
I mean,
he quote Napoleon, like, "Hey, I'm gonna do what I want."
hmm, pretty much, man. What do you say? A person who's saving the country cannot violate the law, something like that. A man who's saving the country does not violate the law.
Yeah, they
So
were
I'm like,
like, "Yo, Napoleon said that right before he took over France."
so I'm gonna do what I want.
I'm gonna do what I want. He's been doing what he wants. I mean, if you get 34 felonies and you don't do a day in jail, ain't nobody can tell me shit either.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he understands where his power lies. His power lies with his people, man. I mean, him, Elon, they gonna do what they want to do, man. That's pretty much what it is. You feel me?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. We the bigger thing, man, is just looking at they're really putting together this whole entire tax plan that they're really trying to push on everybody right now. That's the big thing, and they're really trying to act like they're finding so many different. They've made doubt and pretty much disinformation their campaign. They understand that that's what works with America. Feed a whole bunch of disinformation, and people are going to believe that shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the whole
Yeah.
thing they're doing right now, they're just trying to find money to give to the rich people. I mean, this is all this is about. Like, if they wanted to help you, they'd lower the price of eggs. They wanted to help you, the gas prices would go down, groceries go down, your electricity price would go down. It's not. They're doing this right now to give wealthy people tax cuts. That's all this is about.
Yeah, we got my guy here. We had a hell of a conversation, and we loaded, man. I got you. All right, my bad.
This guy just said, "Hey, Lord, hey, how much you pay for eggs?"
I think. I mean, I'm not sure even how much they cost, but I think I'm hearing they're like $10.
Yeah,
That's
about
crazy.
13 bucks now.
Well, that I mean, in selected places. I mean, I just left the farmers market, got me a 12 pack of cage-free eggs for $4.
I mean, farmers market. That means that's people who probably growing their own outside. You're gonna have to search few and far between people can go to a farmers market. That's not happening for everybody.
What?
You know what I mean?
I
Everybody
don't
ain't got a
know. I don't
farmers
know
market
about.
local to them. You know what I mean? Right around the corner. We ain't got. Hey, I don't know too
I
many of
mean,
them out here. We at.
it take me about 40 minutes to drive to my farmers market, but I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna go get it, man, for
We
sure.
appreciate you coming on
How we
again
doing,
today,
gentlemen?
man.
How we doing, gentlemen?
We're
We
doing
good.
good.
We
We're
good.
doing good.
I would
Man,
like to spark up the debate that we had earlier today. Me and you was talking
man,
about earlier today.
Doge, and I ain't
I'm
talking about the coin.
I'm gonna let you go ahead, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and kind of paint the picture if you want me.
No, what I just heard you say was blasphemy when you said that the Republicans are painting a picture, putting out. Did you just say they putting out fake news?
But yeah, absolutely. They putting out a
So
lot
the
of fake news.
Democrats don't do none of that.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that anyone. This is what I believe. The Republicans thrive off of putting out fake news to their constituents because their constituency is more of a conspiratorial type of a constituency. That's what they want to hear. That's what they want. That's what they feed off of. That's why he came out and said, did you or not hear see the thing I sent you today when they were talking about they sent $50 million to Hamas for condoms. And then later on, Trump came out and said, no, it was $100 million to Hamas for condoms.
All they really what we need to focus on is 2.7 trillion.
Okay, what's that number?
That's the number that they found with like, bro, when they broke down
0.7 trillion, brother.
When they broke down the money that they were spending in the federal Department of Education was crazy. Like, but when you bring up this money, this is what we have. This is what we fail to realize. And like I was telling you earlier, it ain't just Democrat or Republican basis. The Democrats too. What they do is they take the taxpayers' money
Mm-hmm.
They take our money in taxes and invest it in other countries. Okay. And
Yeah.
but what they do is like they spent, I forget the number. They said something like 12 million. They sent 12 million over to somewhere in Africa to teach these people about climate control.
Okay.
What's the purpose in that?
And some of that could have been used to say, okay, let me teach people not only about climate control. Let me teach you about how to deal with your water, like pollution in the water, things of that nature. A lot of things get spread out. You understand how things work. It's like they said they sent $3 million to the rapper in Palestine, and he made anti-Semitic music. It was really probably sent to a foundation that did like for music for kids who were a part of music classes. He probably got some of the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
you're only allowed to make anti-black music.
Yeah, he probably made a song that went against what they wanted. He talked about his environment. That's what people do when they do music. They talk about what they see every day, and what he sees every day probably makes him feel that kind of way. You know what I mean? But the bigger thing is this: we're acting like sending aid to foreign countries in the form of whatever we want to, whether it's food or however it's going to go, is a bad thing. That's how you spread goodwill for what you're trying to do. When you the boss, what do you do amongst the people who are, amongst the people who could possibly be your enemies or allies? What do? You
tell them that their job is their vacation against poverty.
I mean, but when you send $2 million to Guatemala for these people to have sex changes, I mean, what's the purpose in that?
I didn't hear about that. I don't know if they sent 2 million. I'm not going to say what I don't want to do is combat against just random because this is what he already did. He said $50 million to Hamas.
Hold on, you can pull this up. This was in the Senate. I can pull it up for you.
No, I understand. They also said in the Senate, you heard it too, where they said the money went to Hamas for the condoms. Did they not say that in the same Senate hearing?
Hold on one second.
You played the clip. Go ahead.
Got up this morning and went to work.
The
fact is clear that America would have been better off if your money had been simply thrown into a fireplace.
This is the Senate.
Instead, the Biden administration spent it imposing their far left-wing ideology onto other nations. Under them, USAID spent $2 million for sex change surgeries in Guatemala, $22 million to increase tourism in Tunisia and Egypt. That's not life-saving. $520 million to pay consultants to teach people in Africa about climate change. That's not medicine. $4.5 million to teach people in Kazakhstan how to fight back against internet trolls. That's not life-saving. $20,000 to help LGBT individuals vote in Honduran elections. That's not medicine. $5.5 million to improve the lives of LGBT individuals.
Let's pay attention to what he's trying to do right now. To me, that's it's a small thought process to think that only thing you have to do with a person is medicine or food. A lot of things. Okay, are we saying that how allowing free and fair elections in other countries is not important? That's not important.
What we're saying is when you go and you allocate all these millions of dollars that we're talking about, $520 million to teach them about climate control.
That wasn't. He didn't say $520 million. Like $12 million.
No. He said 520. Hold on, let me play it back.
$12 million to teach Africans
to increase tourism.
No, hold on. He said 520.
Maybe.
Under them, USAID spent $2 million for sex change surgeries in Guatemala, $22 million to increase tourism in Tunisia and Egypt. That's not life-saving. $520 million to pay consultants to teach people in Africa about climate change.
Yeah, that's not $520 million to pay consultants to teach people about climate change. My point is this. So regardless if it's sick or not, or medicine or not, do you think that the United States could have used that money, taxpayer money, to benefit Americans?
I think we could use a lot of taxpayer money to benefit Americans, but I think we're blaming things on certain. We're looking at less than 1% of our budget and trying to say that these things, sending $520 million to Africa that's a continent. That is not a That's not a country. As a continent with almost 2 billion people on that continent, where it's basically a lot of the cobalt, all the things are being mined there. So that means they're polluting water. That means there's a lot of things that are going on. They're using coal. You want them to learn about climate change. And I'm not saying that it's our responsibility to teach them, but if we're using $520 million, which is a drop in the pan compared to our $6.5 trillion budget that we normally have, somewhere around there. What are we really looking at? Are we talking about the subsidies that, because you know what has not stopped? All the subsidies for businesses. He has not tried to freeze that at all. Anything that's going to his businesses or big business or corporations, those have not been looked at or frozen. Why are we still giving money to corporations, to subsidizing corporations that are not paying taxes to the American people? Why are we doing that? Why are we
crazy
not
how
talking
people are like, hey, they're stopping all this money going to like foreign aid and stuff, acting like we're about to get a piece of that. Like once they take our tax money, we don't get to say where it goes. You know, and for one thing, I don't know if you saw what happened in Munich yesterday, or I think it was 2 days ago. You know, Zelensky came out and Europe came out. They're like, look, we're going to have to form our own army. We can't rely on the United States anymore.
And so you got to start looking at, like, I understand that what they're trying to, because to me, man, he'll give out disinformation. The first thing he'll say, because he understands the retraction will never be as loud as the actual statement. He knows that. And he lied about where that money went to. So what else is he lying about? What else are these people mistaken about? Because you heard them say the money went to the condoms in Hamas too, right? Did you hear them say that? And on the Senate. So everything that they're saying, that means that it draws it into question, is what I'm saying. It draws into, if you're not willing to give the time to do your due diligence when you have the time, rather than just rushing something out and saying it.
Let me ask you this, though. As an American that pays taxes, federal income taxes, to sit up here and say that Elon Musk going in and investigating where our money is going is a bad thing is blasphemy.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
Everybody wants to know. We all want to know, because D-Mac, correct me if I'm wrong. If you go in, like I was telling Cuz, if you go into a bank and get a loan, don't you owe interest on that loan?
Yes, but see, the thing is, Elon Musk has too many business dealings around the world. I don't like him going into our government and figuring out where all the money goes, because then he can go tell whoever he's working for, like, yeah, they send money here, they send money there. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It's actually putting us in danger. And Elon Musk isn't even really a citizen. Like I'm saying, he's an illegal immigrant.
He's not, is he?
Yeah.
He came here illegally. He came here illegally.
He doesn't have citizenship. I'm pretty sure
he does. He has citizenship now, but he came here initially.
He's standing in the Oval Office. Like, come on, guys.
He came here initially illegally, okay. And so people who come here initially illegally, they kicking him out.
Does he have his green card now? Is he legal now?
He probably does. But
green card doesn't really make you a citizen.
Let me say this. This is my biggest thing right here. You can go in there and check whatever you want. I really don't want him to do it, because in reality, he couldn't even get a security clearance until Donald Trump got into office. You can go in and check whatever you want, because these are all line item things. We can all see these things as well, too. These are all part of the national budget. We can go online and see these things. But if he's going to put stuff out and lie about it, that's political expediency. He's doing things for political gain and for himself. And ultimately, what they're going to do with this money is they're trying to convince the world, convince Americans to take that they want a tax cut for the trillionaires. For the billionaires. Sorry about that. For the millionaires and billionaires of the world. I'm not against that, but damn, I'm not going. Who you saddling debt on top of? The American people. That's what they're trying to convince you of, that this money's being wasted. Go ahead.
I got something for that. I want to play this clip, right? Oh, because I came with the clip loaded on you. Hold on. Hear this one out.
Defend every government program just because it's there. There's some that don't work like we had hoped. The Bush administration spent $1 billion a year on a reading program that hasn't improved our children's reading. We should take that money and use it for things that work. There's some programs that have been duplicated by other programs that we just need to cut back.
So when Barack Obama talk about cutting back on federal funding, it ain't no problem. But when Trump talk about doing it, it's a problem. Right?
Listen,
I understand also.
Do you want me to answer? Let me answer that question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's not about what is he adding, though? To me, if you're going to take, because what I've seen them come in and do is freeze and cut. They're trying to cut hundreds of thousands of jobs. What are you adding? What are you bringing in value? I mean, they're doing is
taking away from.
I'm not deflecting anything because you asked me a direct question.
Barack did the same thing.
What did
there
he
was
say?
nobody. He was just
No,
he was
didn't.
talking about.
He
didn't get into specifics.
He didn't do the same thing though. He didn't. That's not even what he's saying that some programs are not working. Let's take the money and allocate it elsewhere. This dude, what he's talking about is taking the money and saying, okay, I want to do a $4.5 trillion tax cut, and I'm only going to pay for about a 1.5 trillion of it. So the rest of the 3 trillion of it is going to go on the backs of our people. And what do we do? What does that do? It adds to inflation. So ultimately, the money that we're going to get in the tax cut, the little couple $1,000s a year that we're going to get in the tax cut, is going to be eaten up by inflation anyways. That's factual.
Barack literally just said, I want to look at the federal budget, go line by line, and eliminate anything that we deem that is not worth us spending money on.
Well, actually, you know what's crazy? His press secretary came out and they were like, yo, all the stuff you're saying isn't really fraud. And she's like, no, it just doesn't align with what Donald Trump is trying to do. So it's not really fraud. It's basically like he don't want no money going towards like ethnicity, like anyone that's brown, basically,
or anybody, or even poor Americans.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. He's like, they're saying it doesn't align with his current administration, so they're just going to call it fraud, like they want to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. You know, as long as you can pretend and everyone has to believe you, you're going to do it. I mean, do the government like waste a lot of money? Of course, you got to try. You know what I'm saying? If something doesn't work, it's not working out, but you still threw money at it to try to fix it. But what they're doing right now, they're just, you know, whatever.
This is not us. Go ahead.
I'm just waiting to loot.
No, go ahead. I'm waiting because I mean,
this is how I feel. I just feel like when you're looking at a $41 billion program, and 38 million of that is going towards food and other resources, medicine for people around the world who need it. I mean, we got a lot of people around the world who live in like abject poverty, man. Poverty. Now, and some of that reasoning is because of our policies and what we've done around the world. It's just like when we've gone into Iraq and we took out Saddam Hussein, we killed 1 million Iraqis. Do you think that doesn't harbor ill will towards us? You think it doesn't harbor ill will when we're overthrowing governments around the world? This is how you kind of mend bridges. This is how you kind of fix things and make them better. Yeah, I mean, certain items, I believe that at the same time, these are also military items that we're using too to say, you know what? We better send some aid over here because these other people or maybe it's some type of militant group is taking over for China. Because if we don't send the money, China or Russia will. If we don't help out, they will. And what does that do for us? Look at Africa, the way it's turning right now. France is getting kicked out of Africa. We got ran out of Chad. We had a whole entire drone base in Chad. They kicked us off the base and gave it to the Russians. Do you think that helps us? Do we understand that the closest proximity to America outside of North America is Africa? If they put ballistic missiles in Africa, which they can really do now because they have Mali, Burkina Faso, they got Niger, they got Ivory Coast, they got a bunch of countries that they're selling weapons to and they're doing business with because we're not paying attention. We're over here fighting amongst ourselves. We got to pay attention to things that's going on around us. Your neighbor house is burning. What you gonna do? Walk away from the fire? I mean, and that's an old, saying, but it's just the truth. Pay attention to what's going on. That's how you remain a boss. That's how you remain a superpower. Period. Around the world. That's how we became one, and that's how we remain one. We're basically walking away from our responsibilities as being who we are. This is how we got here. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
But the thing is what's happening is you guys called it when before he got elected, he's on a revenge tour. So we want to sit up here and let's just be all the way real. You just said it, 34 felonies. He do whatever he wants. Martha Stewart went to prison for
tax evasion,
insider trading.
Insider trading, correct? Yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to find it. I can't find it. I'm gonna look for it. If you look back at all the presidents, the Democrat and Republicans, when they except for Donald Trump, when they came into office and when they left office, they were almost 3-4 times richer than their net worth was when they got into office. So what I'm telling you is, how is Nancy Pelosi worth $250 million, but her salary is under $200,000 a year?
We've already talked about this too. What is her husband? Her husband is a businessman. It's not. I don't need to. I'm not going to explain for Nancy Pelosi and the House Democrats or the House Republicans. We all know how they're getting their money. These are people making the rules, like we talked about earlier. They'd be like, if you and your significant other, was in the was a congresswoman or a congress whatever, right? And you own a trucking company, and she's like, okay, she was on the transportation committee. She's going to tell you where the money is. Do we think that should be illegal? Yes, but right now it's not. We need to force them into making that illegal. We watch people follow Nancy Pelosi's trades, and they're making money just watching her trade or her stock portfolio. You know what I mean? So we all know this has been a problem, just like campaign finance reform has been is a problem in our country. But we sit here and we allow it to happen, so it's not illegal. You know what I mean?
It is illegal. It's just based off of who's committing the crime
and who's willing to convict for the crime. But this is how I look at it. We just watched our president to put out his own ETF for a cryptocurrency. He came into office talking about, I'm about to make cryptocurrency an important topic. He built it up because we know how this goes. Same thing when Elon did the whole Doge thing. Now he came and built it up. Then he released his own cryptocurrency. You know what I mean? If that's not a blatant, it's the same exact thing as what these people in Congress are doing, right or wrong. So you think that he didn't make any money off being the president? If you really believe that? People didn't even know how much Donald Trump was really worth because he never released his tax returns. So how does anyone know what he's really worth? Nobody knows.
My thing is this. The past couple of weeks that I, watched the show and came on, you guys talking about all the things that he's been doing in this short amount of time. I told you, let him cook. Y'all said it in the beginning. He's on a revenge tour. And a part of his revenge tour is to show how crooked the system is. And for you to sit up here and argue about, world powers and us allocating millions of dollars when you just said the poverty over here is like, here's the thing. How are you sending millions of dollars to other countries for healthcare to give them free healthcare when we don't even have free healthcare?
Yeah, no, that's not what they're not sending to get free healthcare. But this is crazy that, you're sitting from a Republican standpoint. I'm not saying you are Republican, because the people who try to help the poor, who try to help the homeless have been Democrats. I know you're not a Republican, but
no. I want to pause. Not a Republican standpoint, because I think what Elon Musk is doing is only throwing shades to show what the Democratic, as far as Biden's administration is about. I feel all of them is crooked, bro. The whole Republicans and Democrats.
Elon Musk is more crooked than all of them. He came in understanding what the real side of things were and flipped to the side of things that made it more easier and politically expedient for him to get to where he's going. But when I look at it is like this, man. At the end of the day, if Donald Trump he's in office, who is he actually helped? Has he put a law or put executive order to actually help anyone or change anything that's going to benefit the American people? It's been nothing but freeze this program, fire these people, get rid of this. What are you going to do when there's 100,000 extra people who are highly qualified in the workforce? What are we going to do with those people? You know what I mean? Like, and these people now don't have a job. They probably are paying in between $75,000 or $100,000 a year. Now, that's a lot of money taken out of the economy. Period. The government, I think, is the second highest employer behind Walmart, I believe, in the entire country. When he starts slashing and cutting, if he could say he cuts 20% of the workforce in the federal workforce, that's a lot of people, man. Like probably damn near 400,000 people or something crazy like that. I don't know exactly the number. So he say he does that. Do you know the trickle effect that's going to do to our economy? Yeah, I mean, it's not even something. He cut 300 jobs. Let me ask you this. Let me finish this. He cut 300 jobs and on the nuclear, like a part of our nuclear force, cut 300 jobs. These people were directly responsible for manning our nuclear arsenal. He didn't know this. He had to go back and hire them again because they're just going through cutting stuff. This is what he did. This is the fact. What I mean? It's out there. So I mean, who are we entrusting with this type of power? So
you telling me you're more, because everything you're saying is I understand it 100%. People losing their jobs, I'm not for that. I mean, let's go. But what I'm saying is if you losing your job because what you're doing is not really needed, so they're investing in creating this job for you so they can pay you, but also pinch a little bit off and put some in their pocket. Hey, so be it. It is what it is. My question was, is it fair that we're sending millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to benefit other countries' healthcare system when our healthcare system is not what it needs to be? And then you take the government, when you say people losing their jobs, them people up on the hill ain't losing their job. Them the ones that need to lose their jobs. They sit up on that hill for 20, 30, 40 years. D-Mac, you saying Trump ain't leaving after 4 years. Shoot, some of them Senate people need to be 2 to 4 years for everybody.
That is
true. Some of them people
they're retirees.
Yep. Right. Right. So you got your mom, you got your grandmother, they've been paying into Social Security their whole life. And some of these people, when they retire, they don't even have no Social Security. Why? Because the government is sending $10 million to another country to help them with condoms, bro.
Do we think that $10 million is what's doing it, or do we look at the? Here's
the thing though, cuz when it comes to me, you, and everybody else, these things and these numbers are way beyond what we can imagine. We don't know how to budget $1 trillion. Like for us to sit on this show right now and say we could budget $1 trillion or even know how to allocate it, it's blasphemy. So what I'm saying is for us to have these debates, it's cool, but when they putting it right in your face, like this is what your government has been doing with your tax-paying dollars. It's like people should want to know what's going on.
So but tell me everything then. Don't just tell me the stuff that helps other people, the things that are actually helping. Tell me how much money we spend on corporate subsidies, because it's trillions of dollars. We send them a lot more money than just this little $41 billion that we're sending to help people in impoverished nations. We send them way more money. So let's not just focus in that, because that's what they're doing. They're showing you one thing, but they're hiding theirs behind their back. That's what they've been doing. Elon Musk is not here to help. If he was, he wouldn't be taking government subsidies to save his companies. He's taking taxpayer dollars. You know what I mean?
Elon Musk $8 million a day. And he's taking stuff away from American people, and he's getting $8 million a day.
From is that a fact, or is that?
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That was a fact. Yeah.
Where did you find that at? Where did you see that at?
They were having a hearing about it over at in DC or whatever.
Who's paying $8 million a day though? The government?
He gets from subsidies, yeah, and contracts.
Let's read Sarah's comment real quick, y'all, if we can. Sarah said the percentage we send out the country is so minimal compared to what we spend. Look up the percentage. But go ahead though. I ain't want to.
No. I mean, I was reading her comment. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, America is one of the biggest consumers. We're the biggest consumers in the world. But here's my thing: how do you guys feel about? Because you said, Trump talking about taking away the IRS completely, no federal income tax. How do you feel about that?
It would crater the economy. You could never do that. No one would lend you money if you don't have any money coming in. If you're a government, if we don't have any money coming into your system to pay for because we got all these liabilities, we got all these debts that we have to pay off. Where are we going to get the money to pay for that? Where are you going to get the money to pay for your highways?
You ready?
Everything else.
You ready? You ready?
Through tariffs from other countries. Come on.
Tariffs. So you telling me it's bad to say that.
It's not going to pay, but it's not going to pay for it. Say, okay, you know how much money a year? Let's say this. In exports, let's just say this. Hold on, let me say this really quickly. In exports, we are the second largest benefactor of exports. China exports more than everybody else. They're like $4 trillion. I think we're like 2.5, 2 point something. Even if you put a 20% tax on that, that's 400. What was that? It's 20% tax on that. That's $400 billion. Do you think that's gonna? Our budget is like 6.5. It's not gonna make a dent, man. That does not make sense. What he's saying is just a blatant lie. It's not the truth, man.
At the end of the day, right? The people over in the Capitol, the Senate, all of them. You know what I'm saying? What they've left the American people behind. They had plenty of time to actually take this money, allocate it, and put it back into communities. They've had plenty of time to take this money, put it into education, put it into healthcare. They chose not to. They chose to sit there and argue. Now you have a madman that's in the White House, and he's on a revenge tour, so he's gonna do what he wants. And now they're all spooked because they ain't got no power to do nothing. Well, I mean, tough shit. That's what you get. You should have done something for us. You know what I'm saying? I watched all my reparation money go to Ukraine.
Yeah. And he's exposing them for who they are, man.
I don't see it. I don't see it as exposing. I think that we've allowed ourselves to be goaded into things, man. Period. I've heard. I watched a special the other day where this guy was like, "What does the United States? What does the CIA and why do USAID need a military to protect them? Because you're sending things. Because you know who I would want to tell me where things are bad at? My intelligence agency. I want them to say, you know what, it's not looking good, and it's not looking good in the Democratic Republic of Congo right now. We probably need to send in aid because they have a lot of people, and right now they have the most cobalt in the world. It's a lot of things. You got to understand what's really happening and positioning. Like this is why he wants Panama, because they understand positioning. That's all strategic positioning. It all matters, man. You know what I mean? So why do you think we helped build the Panama Canal? Strategic positioning. So all of this kind of goes into the same pot.
But your last comment, you were saying where we get the money from. So you're saying tax the American people instead of taxing other countries.
Do you know who pays most of income tax? Do you know who pays most of it? The rich.
54. Hold on. No.
Where the wealthier class pay more of income tax.
Only 54% of people in the country pay federal income tax.
What I'm saying is that most of, because everyone else gets it back. The people who don't make enough money get their money back.
That's not true. Because guess what? My kid filed her taxes this year. She claimed zero. Her income tax she gets back is $10. But she paid in over $3,000.
She's a single.
Yeah, she's only 19 years old.
I mean, we both know how that work out. That's kind of how it goes. You know what I mean?
That's not how it goes. If you're taking money from me as an investment, you can send money over to somewhere else, I should get money part of that investment.
That's not an investment. Money is going.
I should be able to charge you a percentage.
A percentage of what? I'm not saying. Listen, we should have. There's a lot of things that we should be doing different in this country. Is that what he's saying? Is he trying to give the money back to the American people? No, he's not. He doesn't have any plan. He doesn't have a plan upon what to do with the money. What he's really trying to do.
It's okay for them to tax us, right? We go get a loan. If we go get a loan, we owe interest on the loan. But
taxes is not a loan. A tax is not a loan. That's not a loan. If I tax you, that's my money. That's pretty much the government's money at that point in time.
But why are you taxing me though?
I'm not. Listen, I'm not.
Why? But why? No, you're right. But why are you taxing me though?
This is not me. I'm not going to defend taxes. I'm not going to defend taxes.
You taxing me to live?
Do you think that? How do you think that a lot of things that we have stay functional in this country, whether they're roads, whether schools, whatever else?
I understand what you're saying,
how do those
why
things
are you taxing me though?
I'm not about to be the person to defend taxes and why the
there
government.
Is no law. There is no law written that explains why the American citizen pays income tax on anything. We the only country that do it.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. So what's his next plan after say no more income taxes then? What's his next plan then? Okay, so now we have this hole in our federal budget. Is he looking at cutting? Because we haven't heard any kind of real cuts except for to Medicare, to Medicaid, and to SNAP benefits. Everything he's trying to education, any kind of regulation to do with pollution, anything that has to do consumer protections. That's all we're hearing. I haven't heard anything like, let's cut these subsidies to these major corporations who don't need them. Let's make them pay their fair.
I told you to let him cook.
If your cooking starts out with taking everything from the bottom class of people and not you could do both at the same time. You cannot. He signed 100 executive orders the first day. He couldn't have had one in there saying, okay, we're going to freeze this money to these subsidies to these corporations too, until we can figure that out too. He couldn't do that.
Read Sarah's comment. If a billionaire's got taxed 24% like me and you and couldn't write off, we could be out of debt. I agree with that.
Okay, so and I'm not against that either.
100%.
But what he's saying though, right now he has not this has not been on his agenda at all. That's what I'm saying to you. It's not a fact that I'm not against him just for overall for what he's doing, but he's not shown that he's doing anything for the American people.
Let him cook. He's only been here for how long?
3 weeks. But okay, listen. So you say he can't do two things at the same time. There couldn't have been something saying, okay, I want to freeze this, but I want to give this instead. There couldn't have been a plan for that because there's no plan. He always has a concept of a plan. That's what he's always saying about everything. If you guys really wanted healthcare, you would have got it when Barack was going for it when he did it. They weren't even a part of that process. They don't want nothing for the American people. That's the problem to me. That's
Who
it.
is they when you say that?
I look at
Define they.
I look at Republicans. I look at Donald Trump as a whole. He doesn't care about
Democrats, the government. Just say the government.
I mean, this is how I look
don't
at it.
segregate it. Don't segregate it.
This is not me to ever say that Democrats are perfect, but I believe that they come in with policies for the people. I'm not saying that they're perfect and they implement and get everything right, because they don't. But if you look at every Democratic president that comes in, his policies, when they come in there, your very first bill that you're trying to bring forward, policy purpose, is for the people. Barack Obama, healthcare. Trump, Biden, he came in with family and other services where he basically was helping people get more on their tax returns. What was that called? The earned income tax credits, more money for that. He was trying to get the bill passed for people to be able to have child care for free in this country. Help me. It's a lot of things that they came in. This was their first agenda.
You said that was Biden. That was Biden, because you know how much child care is right now.
It's not going to be. It probably wouldn't be for everybody, but it's going to be for the lower class of people to make sure they can get
the lower class. Still, it's still expensive.
And you know what? And I know, honestly, education is expensive, but being not educated is even more expensive to us, because it's hurting us right now. We're seeing it right now with education. That's even worse.
School should be free then, right? College should
be free. I thought, man, this is my personal, but you know who don't ever talk about it? What I'm saying is, who never speaks about what's good for the American people, only about let's take away trans rights, let's take away this right, let's take away that right, let's get rid of immigrants. It's always a negative thing. It's never something positive for the people. I have not seen it. I can't let you cook if the only thing you're cooking right now, you don't have to just cook up, basically the worst possible part of the meal and just feed that to me first. You can give me both. You can give me a little sugar with my, you know what I'm saying? Give me a little bit of both. Because all he's feeding is the shit. He's not.
You might be a diabetic, so you can't have both.
No, I'm saying? I'm just being real.
You might be a vegan too, so you don't want the meat. You know what I mean? You want the vegetables. So people, I already bring that up to say there's selective portions of it to where it's like this. Here's my thing. Like I told you, I come on this show to advocate because I voted for Donald Trump. That doesn't make me a Republican. I voted for the best person that I felt that was fit for the job. And let me tell you something. Based on what I've seen and what the Doge report just came out with yesterday, you see look, bro, it was 8 o'clock in the morning here, which means it was 5 o'clock your time. I was calling your phone. I said, ooh, I gotta get him on a line because I need your intake, because everything that we were saying. And now that he's starting to show people's faces, now it might flip. It might flip. What has he done though? What did they show? You got to really look at what they're talking about. The money they're talking about actually are going to help other people. That's actually helping, bro. That's
actually helping. Let's be real. Go ahead,
bro. Let's just be real. Some of them dollars, some of the things. Hold on.
I ain't gonna say everything. Go ahead though.
Hold on.
I'm listening for you. What I don't want to be the person to do is defend something that I don't know that whether it's true or not. Because we got to remember, USAID didn't just start under Joe Biden. USAID has been around since like 1963 or something, like 1960. It started under John F. Kennedy. This has been going on for a very long time. So that means during Donald Trump's first presidency, it was here too. Why is it now all of a sudden a problem? Go ahead. But my personal belief is because of Elon Musk. That's why. Raking in. Come on, bro. Listen. Hold on.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm not so good. But listen, that's okay. Listen, what I'm saying. We all know that people in Congress have been corrupt for a long time, but we're not going to act like Elon Musk is not corrupt. You heard what Donald Trump said to him in 2020. When he came on and said, you know what, when you came in my office and you begged me for that money when your business was going to fail, I could have told you to get on your knees and beg me and you would have did it. This was a tweet that Donald Trump put out. This is an actual, so what are we saying right now? So a person who will come in and beg for your tax dollars and we give him our tax dollars is telling you that you don't deserve it or you're a parasite. Did you hear about what Elon Musk said that? The parasite class of people talking about the American people anybody who gets benefits from the government are parasites. That they're looking into veteran affairs right now too. Because he
said something like that, does that make him a bad person?
It just tells me who you are. It tells me
he shared his opinion.
Yeah, just like you said.
Because you so high on Biden. We can go back to the '94 crime bill. How did Biden describe black people?
This is how I look. This is how I look.
How did Biden describe black people in the 94 crime bill?
What
did he call them?
Hold on, he didn't. Who did he say was the people that he's talking about exactly? This is not me saying that Biden was not who he was. I believe that all. I believe that. Listen to me. Let me finish. I believe that most of those people are who they are, but I believe that Biden had a come to God moment when Barack Obama told him basically, it's the truth of the matter is this: I pick you to be my vice president. This doesn't make him a good man. It's just saying right now you're going to do the bidding of what needs to be done. Period.
So Biden can change, but nobody else can. Huh?
If right now, yeah, I hope they do change, but right now they're not showing that change. That's what I'm saying. So just because a person did something, then if I can say right now, if you're gonna come in and do what I need you to do right now, then I don't care about that, because who was his vice president? Kamala Harris. Who was the first president that he worked for as vice president? Barack Obama. Who did he hire as his defense secretary? Was that Austin something? I forget his name. Black man. Who put the most federal judges that were black on the bench? Joe Biden. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a great person, but at the end of the day, he understood where he needed to be when it came down to it. Period. I'm saying that doesn't absolve him from saying to Sergeant Charlemagne the God that you don't know if you black, if you don't vote for me. I know who these people are just as much as you do. But what you do matters more than what you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day to me. What do you do when you're in that seat? That's how I look at it. It's good to see you back, D-Mac. I know you probably ready to go lay down and do what you got to do.
Hell yeah.
Drink some water, man. You know what I'm saying? Drink some water and some Gatorade, brother. You know
I got some water here. It's just, I was hitting the tequila out the bottle.
Hitting the tequila out the bottle. Which one? The rough one, huh?
Nah, it was some good stuff. It was like double barreled or something like that.
But I
mean, it was delicious.
But all honesty, man, not to get off subject, but the biggest thing is this right here, man. I just look at what people actually do for the American people. What they actually bring to the table for us. And if they're not bringing anything to the table for the people, then I'm against you, because I understand what that means overall. Elon Musk is not for the people. If he was, he could do a lot more. That's why he left everybody with the whole Doge thing. You ain't watch how that played out for the people. He played the game, got everybody to buy into something with a game, and then left you high and dry on
actually, that. That's a new thing they're actually doing. An artist came out today and talked about that, how like someone's like, hey man, we're going to act like we put this thing in your name, this cryptocurrency, we're going to get people to buy into it, then we're going to cancel it the next day. And then you're supposed to come out and say, hey, I don't know who did this, my account got hacked, what you want me, they're getting paid for it. Like a couple of celebrities have already done it. That's kind of what happened with no.
He put out a cryptocurrency called Boss. I'm not sure. That might be what you're saying, but he put out, if you go on this Instagram page, he put out a cryptocurrency called Boss. People are doing that. So what you're saying is correct, but go ahead. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. And I can't remember who came out and said it. They're like, yeah, they tried to get me to do it, saying, I think Kanye West said it. He was like, they tried to get me to come out and do it. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. So he's like, just beware. That's what the celebrities are doing. There's like it's just one like group of people that are getting celebrities to do it, to cash out millions of dollars.
Celebrities been doing it for years.
Donald Trump did it. Donald Trump just did
it. Celebrities been doing it for years. Didn't nobody know about no Hypnotic until R. Kelly was showing it in his video. I didn't know nothing about no Hypnotic. They promote stuff.
I thought that came from Tupac. No, wait, no, that was Alizé and Hennessy.
Yeah.
I think it's Thug Passion.
Yeah.
Thug Passion. But R. Kelly
Incredible
came
Hulk.
out with the Incredible Hulk was it with R. Kelly with the Hypnotic and Hennessy. But what I'm saying is say this, they're gonna always go to the celebrities because they are the most influential people in this country, because that's who we idolize.
Yeah.
So let me ask this one question. So what policies are you expecting him to put forward right now? Like what he let him cook. What's his next move? What's his next big power play that's gonna be helpful to you, or will make you happy with what is going on with him at this moment?
When you bring up that topic, man, and for all our viewers, I appreciate you guys chiming in, man. I love coming on the show with you guys. Hey, I apologize to D-Mac for filling in, but you were supposed to say that tequila for your Friday night, the Friday night session, man. Go get you some of this, man.
I'm gonna drink some water, and I'm about to lay on my couch and watch the All-Star game.
Oh man, screw the All-Star game. But here's my thing. I'm 43 years old. Right? As long as I can go back and remember, regardless of who was in office, I had to get my butt off the couch and go to work.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been one president in the United States that has significantly did anything as far as policy to make my life change. It was all based on me. getting my ass up, going to work, or hitting the block when I was in that part of my life. That's it. All I'm saying is to say this: we sit here and we talk about these people of power when they don't really affect us, bro. All they do is sit up there at the top and they play with each other's pockets back and forth so they can line each other's pockets. Oh yeah, they putting billions of dollars. Yeah, they gonna continue to do that. But what I'm saying is it's not affecting people like me and you.
So the civil rights
as much.
The civil rights movement, civil rights laws did not affect you. Voting laws did not affect you.
So
There's a lot of
the civil rights. They didn't pass the civil rights because it was the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? The Civil Rights Act was passed 2 years after Martin Luther King was assassinated. The reason they passed the Civil Rights Act is because Black Americans said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's burn the place down. And they started to riot nationwide. And then the government was like, oh, hey, we're sorry. Here, we'll give you something.
No, so King was alive when civil rights was passed. He was alive when it passed because he was there for the sign of it. Yeah, he was alive when it passed. I mean, I think a lot of it was because when we started doing the busing and all that kind of stuff, they started passing things because we were affecting their pockets. So you're right about that. There's a lot of things when we were, rioting, other things were happening. But when JFK came in with the Great Society, he spoke about civil rights and all that, and they ended up killing him. So it kind of passed on to his predecessor, who was Lyndon B. Johnson, to get it done.
They're saying JFK was killed by Israel because he was trying to get foreign influence out of our government, and they weren't about to have that. So
JFK you seen that speech, the message when he gave the message when he talking about the New World Order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they didn't. He was giving too much information, man.
Absolutely, and I don't look at. I mean, if Trump was really here for that, if that's who he really was to our government, to our people, I would have a different tune. But he's not that. He just signed a bill, man, making foreign bribery to like our companies can bribe foreign officials, making it basically not saying making it legal, but we're gonna look the other way. We don't care if you do it. So I mean, do you know how that affects? Go ahead.
That's been going on. How does that affect you though?
Hold on. Okay. This is how things affect people all over the world and how it kind of trickles back into us. Okay, say if I'm a corporation, I can go and bribe a foreign official. I can tell them, you know what, man, I want to pay you this amount of money. Go ahead and pay your people X amount of money. Make it so they can't unionize, they can't. Their minimum wages is not there, whatever else the case may be. Make it so I can get this product for cheaper. You think that helps American workers? You think that affects what we got going on over here too? Is that if you can go around the whole world and bribe foreign officials and make it so that this just it's okay to do it? When you're the number one country in the world, man, you got to have some kind of a standard. But I'm not saying that we're not already bribing them, but you still run the risk of being
you said we got to have you said we got to
somebody got to be the standard bearer. Somebody got to be the standard bearer, especially if you're the number one economy in the world. You should be that. It should be something that you say.
We got to set the standard, but we just all sat here and agreed. You guys both admitted to it that Elon Musk brought Donald Trump the United States presidency.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's campaign finance. We need campaign finance reform.
That's bribery. I mean, it's going on all across the world, bro.
That's campaign finance. It's not to say just because something's happening. If I say, you know what, I don't care, I'm turning my back on you. What do you think is going to happen, man? It's going to run rampant. You can say, how is it affecting me? But that's going to affect people in other countries. It's going to kids and wherever else. You look at child labor laws. We talk about it. People know about it. People speak on it. But it's going to make it worse for other people in other countries. What ultimately makes things worse for us. It's like just like it was no problem with us giving $50 million in condoms to Mozambique for basically that's a good idea to me because we know, like we said, where did AIDS start? Where did AIDS come from?
Actually, they were ejecting whatever else. No, actually, AIDS started in New York in the gay clubs, and then somehow got to Africa.
No, what I'm saying is the point of it is if you don't put out fires where they start. If you don't go and try to help others, it's like just like polio or whatever else. Or if you don't put out fires where they start, they spread. That's all it is to it.
Why ain't they talking about in the media about the people over there in the Middle East want to invest $600 billion into the United States? We ain't talking about that.
Yeah, Japan wants to invest $1 billion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you feel about them? Let me ask you all the question.
They want to do that when Biden was in office.
The deal was already for over like $600 billion. But go ahead though. They just
How do you feel about Trump slipping Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, a piece of paper, talk about sign this and give me half the mineral rights to your country?
Go ahead. What'd you say, D-Mac? Repeat that question again.
So they were in Munich, and Donald Trump had one of his peoples slip Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, a note, and he was like, "Hey, sign this and give me 50% of all the mineral rights to your country." And that's when he came out.
It sounded like a business. It sounded like a business deal.
Well, they're supposed to be in Saudi Arabia, but it's just America and Russia talking about how the war is going to end. He wasn't even invited. He's going, but he wasn't invited.
A business deal.
I mean, it sounds like a business deal.
He asked.
So let me ask you.
He asked for rare earth minerals. He asked for rare earth minerals.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Who needs rare earth minerals? Who needs rare earth minerals the most? Elon Musk for his batteries. For his batteries.
Okay. But here's the thing, though. Elon Musk for his batteries, but I don't think it's just for the batteries, right? Because I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to also, the reason why the electric vehicle hasn't really taken off like with the trucks, the big trucks and everything, because they don't have the
charging stations.
The charging stations. So I think that's what the part of the deal. Now, let me ask you this: is that a bad deal to go in and say, "Hey, give me this so we can end this war," or we just want people to still continue to die?
Well, I mean, it's crazy how they say, "Hey, your car needs a charging station," but they don't want to put solar panels on top of it. It's crazy how they say you need to charge your car, but they don't want to put like a pedal in there where you can pump it and just make a little bit of spark that can actually power your car and keep it powered. And they also say that
the solar power is a great.
Yeah.
Think
about back in the day, you used to have the thing in the front where you used to wind up the car to make it start. You could do that. You would just keep a spark in it. But hey, the lithium batteries, and the people say they're not even supposed to be that big anyways. You know what I'm saying? You know how much
if Donald Trump stops the Ukraine and Russia war, go ahead and give it to him, man. GAGOAT, man.
That war should have been over 2 weeks after it started anyways. America's just been.
So he's supposed to. So basically, we're going to call him the GOAT for selling out, because you didn't. Have you listened to what his people came out and said? They came into the meeting saying that, you know what, you guys getting your old land back is out of the question. We don't want NATO in here. We don't want this. They basically came in with the whole entire Russian talking point and presented that to Zelensky as the deal. Come on, man. I mean, this to me, you got to look at people for who they are.
He gonna have to take it though. He gonna look. Ukraine doesn't have the weapons to defend themselves. If it wasn't for the U.S. and the U.K. intervention, that war would have been over in 2 weeks. And it's gone on long enough. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump was like, look, this was about to happen, bro. You ain't getting back the land that they took, right? You're gonna give me half of your shit so you can hold on to it and act like you cool. If you don't, I'm gonna let Russia come in here and take it from you.
Man, this is how I look at it right now. I mean, I don't think he even has the power to do that. I think at the end of the day, I think Europe is going to step in and do whatever they got to do to help Ukraine if it goes that way. They're not going to give them half their minerals, because basically they're rare earth minerals. They're not giving them that. That's not happening. That was an extortion deal. Basically, because he asked them, he said, "I want the half of this for the money that we've already given you. Give us ownership of half of this for this money as a collateral on a loan, basically for the money we've already given you." And we gave them that money under contingency that we're basically giving you that money. You can pay us back later. You know what I mean? Because basically we're looking at them as, you know what? It makes more sense for us to stop Russia at Ukraine than to be fighting them in Poland, because that's what's happening next. And if we don't know that, we just don't know that. That's a fact. You know what I mean? We're going to be fighting them there. Lithuania, Estonia, one of them other countries that's already a part of NATO, will be there fighting them. If you
all I see is that Uncle Phil's kid. He's like, we.
But everything you said, everything you said, Wesley, is all circumstantial.
He's already invaded 2 other countries. I mean, he invaded Georgia. He took over Crimea. He took over South Ossetia from Georgia. He took over Crimea. He's already invaded Ukraine again. It's a must that he does this. People don't understand. They think that Russia's doing things out of just because they're afraid of NATO. No, they're doing it because they have a declining population, brother. They have to do this stuff. They have to go into these other countries. Russia's been an empire for how long? But now all of a sudden, in the next 60 years, they're about to lose like 40 million people damn near. You know what I mean? Because they have a declining birth rate. People don't, it's bigger than what we think it is. It's not about what we think it's about. It's because he has to go and do these things to keep his empire, or else he's just a nuclear. The only thing that can protect him right now is just their nukes. That's all they got. He just lost a million men of basically childbearing age. That's a million troops, man. Come on, man. He has to do what he's doing.
And we're basically North Koreans.
You know what I mean? So it's a must that he's doing what he's doing, bro. We just don't know it. No one's talking about the real reasons why. Just like why Donald Trump and these guys are doing what they're doing here. It's because certain population bases in our country are declining and they can't come back. That's why they want to get rid of certain. What did you think about the South African on the same track. What do you think about them wanting to have South African refugees, Afrikaners, the white ones, come here into our country as refugees, but wanting to get rid of everyone else? You know what I mean? As far as immigrants who are here, what do you think about that? Why do you think that is?
I think we've already spoke on this a couple of weekends ago. You keep reiterating that. And I like how you pinpoint when you say it's the white ones.
It's true. That's what he said.
And then you talk about the ones that's being sent away. I mean, I can't speak on that because I don't know too much information about it. But I felt like that was just Elon Musk sharing his opinion.
That wasn't Elon Musk. That was Trump. Trump said this out his mouth. Yeah, this was came out of Trump. That was Elon. That was probably puppeted probably like you were right, probably puppeted from Elon Musk into Trump's ear. But Trump spoke this. He said, white Afrikaners. He said basically said that I'm gonna cut off aid to South Africa, and I may end up doing more to South Africa if this goes on. You know, I mean, this is a factual basis, right? This is facts. This is a statement that he made.
Steve says, what's your source?
Look it up. Google it and see it. Steve, I mean, we appreciate your comments, Steve, but you should Google that and see if it's factual or not. Did he say this? Is it a statement out there that Donald Trump said this? It's a fact. Everybody knows this is a fact.
Let me ask you this question. How do you feel about the New York mayor, Eric Adams, and what they did for him? And if people don't know, the mayor, he was up for corruption. Well, I'm just asking. He was getting charged with corruption.
Yeah.
You trust? Oh God.
Wait, I trust Google. Brother, Google's going to give you other people as sources. They're going to say it's CNN. They're going to say it's Fox. They're going to say this. Somebody's new. I mean, come on, brother. Is that
Mayor Adams?
You got to be able to trust somebody.
He had a meeting with Donald Trump and them, and they had the DOJ or whoever was prosecuting his case dropped the charges. Like I think he took bribery money. So I guess it's not a crime anymore because he just got rid of it, so he shouldn't be charged with it now. But
bribery money from Turkey.
Yeah, was it Turkey? I thought it was Egypt, but
so,
I mean, but they said, hey, we can always bring this back on you. So we're letting you go right now, but if we don't like what you do, we're gonna bring it back up on you. So
kiss the ring.
Kiss the ring
because that mayor wasn't that what you said, the mayor or the
of New York City
mayor. The mayor.
I think the mayor. I don't know if the mayor had anything to do with.
They're a sanctuary city.
Hold on. I don't think the mayor had. Did the mayor have anything to do with any of those charges that was on Trump?
Nah.
In New York.
Mm-mm. That was.
Because now what Trump did was get up under here. I'm gonna need you later to expose what was going on in New York.
Go on my page, man, and go and look. I should play it for y'all where they had him come on Fox and Friends or what I think it's Fox and Friends where those three people or that three little panel they have there. Normally it's a black dude, but he's not on there where he wasn't on the show. And they had him sit there and they grilled him and pretty much treated him. I should play it for y'all. Treated him like a, you know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, this is what you're gonna do, and this is why you're gonna do it. And then they asked him a question pretty much in front of everybody, like, so. Why would you work with this man here talking about the mayor speaking to their immigration czar? Why would you work with this man when we know that he's been working against working against your immigration policies for all this time? You guys have called him a crook and all this other stuff. I mean, they pretty much treated him like how you would treat a rat. You get what I'm saying? I got a police gonna treat a rat. That's how they treated that man in front of everybody. And he took it because he took the money. When you take the money,
he has to take it. They own him now.
Yeah, they own him. So
they own him. I mean, it's
just like half our government. Yeah, they're owned by somebody. Yeah, they got
handlers. They all got handlers.
They all got handlers. Here's the thing, though, man. I just looked at Donald Trump hung his mug shot in the Oval Office.
I saw that. Hey, why not though?
Be the biggest troll.
I'd be like, hey,
that is amazing. That is amazing, bro.
Why not put it up though?
That's amazing, man. You gotta love the guy, man. I mean. That's the biggest troll move ever.
That's what every time he needs inspiration, he look at that picture. He's like, "Yep."
Let me show you something real quick. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
Is that Fox and Friends?
Yeah. Can you hear it?
I got you. Hold on.
He had a real level of frustration, and he was trying to figure out, hey, what's going on, Eric? What is happening? And we were able to get in the room and really articulate what are my powers, what are my authorities, and what are some of the things that we need to legislatively address that is preventing us from doing what we want to do, and that is getting dangerous people off our streets.
Right, and Tom Homan, as you know, Mayor, a couple days ago said he was angry at you in New York City because Sounds like last time you guys got together over at Gracie Mansion, you probably said some stuff. Maybe we'd like to do this and that. And I think Mr. Homan and Tom, you could start with this. You were frustrated that he wasn't doing enough. He wasn't keeping up his end of the deal.
Well, look, I've been on that network for 4 years, and I've called the mayor out many times for not stepping up.
Oh my God!
But I tell you, when I sat down with him, I saw the cop in him. And he really does want to do the right thing because he is a cop. He's a lifelong cop. He wants to help take public safety threats off the streets in New York, make New York safer. He also wants to help find these missing children. We got 300,000 missing children. That many of them are here in this city. We know that. We got to find them. And we'll be working with his intelligence division, his officers, to save these children because many of these children are in forced sex trafficking. Many are in forced labor. We need to save them. And I think everybody can agree to that. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on.
And
People want to hijack this narrative and turn it into a political narrative where we're saying we need to have public safety. I requested the meeting. I reached out to his team and said, we want to sit down. This has been an issue I was talking about before the election, spring of 2022.
I don't want to keep it playing. I'll cut it off. But
is that an issue for you to take criminal?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not about that. It's the fact that he's kowtowing now because they took charges off him. This is why he's changing up his whole tone now because of that. This is not. Of course, you want to take any criminals off the street. That's what you want to do. Especially if you're an immigrant here trying to get legal status and you commit a crime, you got to go. That should be anybody should.
Well, I mean, it's crazy how they're not letting America be the land of opportunity anymore. But I mean, there's not opportunity for everybody here. It'd be nice if people could come and see everyone being successful. But I mean, like the immigrants kind of just come and sit down. Some of them, a lot of them are hardworking. I'll give them that.
Whoa! Hey, I
was say, hey, no, because hey, my bad, because they're arresting most of them right now at their jobs. That's exactly where they're going.
And at the same time, like exactly. I mean, they're going. But
did you see Elon's tweet about that he feels every American deserves an enormous tax refund check this year?
I think that Elon's gonna say whatever's political. I haven't seen it.
If Elon, hold on, D-Mac. Hold on, D-Mac. D-Mac, let him say what you said. You feel like Elon gonna say what?
If this was really his policies, why wasn't he coming with this to begin with? He's only coming with it now.
I want you to say what you was just about to say. You said Elon Musk gonna say anything that's can politically what?
I didn't say politically. I say anything that's expedient for him right now. He's going to be basically he's got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. You're telling people that they don't deserve government money when you're taking government money. His car sales have been tanking. That's why he's got this $400 million deal on the table right now for a government to buy bulletproof Tesla trucks. For what reason? For what? You know what I mean? Like, what do we need bulletproof Tesla trucks
hold on,
for?
let me answer, Steve. Steve, we have the resources here in America to take care of everybody. Do the people that run this country actually want to do it? No, not at all. We have the resources to give everybody health care. We have resources to give all the kids free lunch.
Free education.
We have resources to give people housing. We all know this. America has money. It's just the top few are like, I don't really want to share it.
Let me say this too, though. We know that immigrants paid $96 billion, I think is in the Social Security, but they're not even eligible for it. These are workers, man. We all know the immigrants that you know, Steve, if you know any, and I know I don't know a bunch of them, but the ones who are here, whether they're here waiting for legal status or whatever, they're working. They're working people. I don't see them sitting on the corners asking for money. I see them wanting to work so they can send money back into their.
I see it. Well, yeah, I see a lot of them in front of Home Depot. You don't see them out there no more, though.
But they was trying. Was they trying to work? Or were they trying to get it? Were they trying to work?
Oh yeah, they gonna go work.
And that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I just $36 trillion in debt because we keep giving the rich people tax cuts. The money is there. You know what I'm saying? It's there. It's just we're not going to tax. Think about it. If you're rich, if you get to make the laws and you're rich, why would you take money away from yourselves? That's why I always say, like, I mean, the elected officials should be people from your local town. They should be your school secretary. There should be your bus driver. You know what I'm saying? They should be a gas station worker. These are the normal people that see everyone each day, and they know how the economy should work. Think about it. They gave you $1,200 during COVID and was like, you'll be good.
But I mean, even
it's
then,
definitely overspending. It's definitely overspending.
Once those people get that taste of power, they turn corrupt too. Here's the thing. When you say if the higher 1% paid, they share, the debt would. But then again, if we put these tariffs on other countries, hold on, cuz we're the only country that don't tax any other country for our products.
Or if anything,
I just want to make this make sense. If the American people, if we're selling things to other countries, but we don't tax them,
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's 100% true. It's not true.
Yes,
that's why we have free trade agreements with certain countries. That's why we have free trade agreements with certain countries, and not with all other.
We don't tax them, but we're going to hold on. We're gonna sell y'all 30 bricks, but we ain't gonna put no tax on it. But we gonna bring in whatever from y'all, and then we gonna tax the people who we depend on, who we supposedly care about. Come on, man, they taxing us, but don't tax the people.
Yeah, but see, the guys that economics, Steve. These businesses, what they're doing, they're not hiring more people. I mean, how long have you had to wait in a fast food line? You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to the grocery store, Walmart, how long you got to stand in line to use the self-checkout? Like they're not hiring more people. They're hiring. They're building. Look, I just saw an article. I saw an article yesterday where Amazon has a robot that they're putting inside the warehouse. They're going to fire all the people in the warehouse and put these robots in there to do their jobs. Like they're not spending. Yeah, they're not spending that money on the people. They're downsizing,
and it's trickle down economics. It did not work under Reagan because it does not go back to the people. We all know that goes. I mean, what that money goes to? It goes to their investors. It goes to their stockholders. That's who that money goes back to. And I'm not against businesses doing well, but I'm against businesses not. I mean, Amazon didn't pay any taxes. Elon Musk, they don't pay any taxes, but they want government money. They want our money given to them. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not against business. I'm for business. I'm not a socialist. I just believe that our capitalist policies are not working as well as they should. We need to tweak some of them. We need to have free healthcare. We need to have free education. I mean,
I've said this on the show many a times, and I hope a lot of people agree with this. I think if you're a congressman or a senator, wherever your district is, you have to go live in the poorest area of that district for 6 months and survive off the money they survive off. That's the only way we're going to see change. You can't use your bank account. You got to go work whatever job you can find in there and then survive. And then they're going to see what they've done to the people. But also, the U.S. aid money, what they're doing right now, maybe we could take that money, right, and fix the countries where these immigrants are coming from so they won't want to come to America anymore.
Or help me. In reality, a lot of it is just not even just totally fixing them. It's just about us not putting our foot on their neck. Venezuela could definitely be a thriving country. That's our backyard. Venezuela is the Saudi Arabia. Venezuela got more oil than Saudi Arabia. They're the number one. They have the most oil reserves in the entire world. Us in Venezuela, and along with Canada and Mexico, we wouldn't have to rely on anyone from the Middle East oil ever again in life. We would never have to buy oil from the Middle East ever again. That's how much oil we all can produce for ourselves. We could get it at such a great rate.
We got more oil than the Middle East for real.
No,
we get to drill.
We don't.
If we drill, baby, drill.
No,
drill, baby, drill.
It doesn't work that way. It's like oil reserves. Like you only got a finite amount. I think we got like 20 something billion barrels. Saudi Arabia has like almost 300 billion barrels of oil, that known oil reserves in the ground. Venezuela has like 320 or something like that billion. They have more, than anyone else. And so it's not like we only can drill so much. So if you only got 20 something billion barrels, but you're drilling 13 million barrels a day, do the math on that. When is that going to run out? It's not going to take that long.
What I'm saying is we might have the barrels. I'm talking about the stuff that's under the ground. If we drill, we got it up under us.
Hey, Steve,
I want to speak to D.
We're definitely a regime change country, Steve. We're definitely that. We'll always be that. That's part of being the top dog. When you're the top dog, you better be about regime change. You're gonna have problems around the world. It's happening. Yeah. Russia's going through regime changes with all through Africa. China's helping them out. I mean, it's happening all over. We got to be on top of our stuff. That's why we need to send money to other countries to help us to make sure we can secure our flanks. This is a part of the game. Shipping channels and all that is what make America strong. Our military is what makes us strong. Our currency is what made us strong. But go ahead.
I just wanted to speak on what D-Mac was talking about in regards to funding the countries where these immigrants are coming from. Then if they did that, they would have to raise the federal minimum wage. I mean, the fact that we still have a $7.25 federal minimum wage is blasphemy. It's crazy.
You know who said they weren't going to change it?
$7.25 an hour.
Wasn't going to change.
Who can live off of that?
Bro, think about this. Think about you work at McDonald's, right? And you get $7.25 an hour. It takes you 3 hours to be able to afford something to eat there.
That's crazy.
To get a full meal.
That's crazy.
Hey, Steve came in. I understand that is crazy. That's why they just asked Trump's I forget. I think it was Commerce Secretary. I can't remember who it was exactly. Did he want to? Was he for raising the federal minimum wage? He said no. But that doesn't mean they all say the same thing as well. But Steve came out and he said, why haven't we done regime change in Venezuela? We've tried on the last 2 election cycles. Maduro just a little bit too strong. I mean, we'd have to go in there and actually kill Maduro. And I'm not trying to advocate to kill anyone.
Hey, Steve, I'm all about expansion in America. Like if he's going to take Greenland, Canada, and the Panama Canal, I'm all for it.
Panama Canal, that's a different situation. Maduro,
I'm for it too. I thought you wasn't for it, cuz. I thought you went for it.
I'm all for prime. Hey, Canada's prime real estate, man.
I'm not for taking. Where are we going to go? Canada is a stable government to our north. Mexico is a stable government to our south. Why are we messing with our neighbors when we're insulated because of them and because of the ocean?
Look, you probably don't
start wars in your back. You don't start wars in your backyard. That doesn't make any sense. Why we do that? And why we take the Panama Canal? And we gave the Panama Canal back to them. I'm not against the deal he made with Panama to kick China. This is what we should have done from the beginning. You don't take your eye off the ball. This is what we're doing. Everyone's like, take away money from USAID. This is all this stuff is bad. We took our eye off the ball in our own backyard, and that's why other countries are moving in. China does more trade.
He got charges on top of that.
China does more trade with Mexico than ever before because we took our eye off the ball. They're down in all through South America doing trade with these countries because we're taking our eye off the ball. You know what I'm saying? This is our backyard. Should nobody be doing more trade in our backyard than us? How does Chile have more rare earth minerals than anyone in the world, but they're not one of our number one trading partners? Come on, man. This is it's easy business right here. It's because we're doing things the wrong way. I mean, period. That's how I look at it. But
based off the Democrats,
I believe they've tried the last 2 elections through the electoral process, but you're gonna have to probably do what we don't want to talk about right here with Maduro because he's not going anywhere. He understands once he leaves, he's finished. He's Assad. He's gonna have to run to Russia or somewhere else to take safe haven because he's done. It's hard to get in there on him because he has a strong military and people are not a strong military that we couldn't take him, but people are gonna back him. But we're not gonna go in by force and take Venezuela. We could have had Colombia do it because they talked about actually going in and helping out and getting rid of Maduro for us, but then we came in and said, hey, we want to go into a war with you guys about you not taking your immigrants, instead of looking at the bigger factor. Okay, we could be dealing with you guys to take out Maduro because they're having a huge problem with the influx of Venezuelans going into Colombia because they're fleeing from Venezuela. So this can all be worked out with our neighbors. We're just not using strategic.
Or we could just take it.
What are we going to take Venezuela for? Venezuela used to be the number one economy in South America. Used to be. That's not. But these are in our backyard. We don't want those kind of problems. Look what happened with Iraq. We did that to Iraq. Now they're unstable government. Now Iran pretty much is running free roughshod over Iraq. That's not what we want. We did it in Libya. Look what's going on there. That country's torn in two. When that was one of the strongest countries in Africa. That's not the way you want to do it. It's a better way to get it done. We're just not taking stuff is not really the best thing because you're not really taking it if you're not there all the time. You think we could take Mexico? Seriously? You think we could take Canada? Take it.
Absolutely.
We say
they don't stand a chance.
My bad, D-Mac. We said we could use oil. You were just touting that we could use. No, you don't. We could trade in their oil. We're not going to take because we listen.
Or we could just take the oil.
Okay, we took oil from. I
want to go back to gas being $1.07.
It'll never happen because what happened? We went into Iraq. The gas went to $1.07 then. They're not giving you that. Okay, look what we talking about. Donald Trump, drill, baby, drill. He just made a deal. He just made it. Okay, it's not we though. Just like you said earlier, you think that they're going to give us our money back with taxes? They didn't. We just talked about earlier how Japan made a deal with America for I think it was $1 trillion, right? $1 trillion deal. They made a deal to sell our extra oil to them. We pump 13 million barrels a day. I think we use like 26 million. We're getting the rest from other people. Most of the oil that we pump here, we send outside of our country. We sell it. These are businesses, man. This is not our government. Our government does not run these oil wells. These are businesses that run them. And so we got to stop thinking that we're an authoritarian government and we're like China where they control all of their natural resources in the government. It doesn't happen that way. That's Chevron. That's Exxon. That's those companies.
But what you're saying is that the government doesn't run it, but the government has.
They take it and they give it to the businesses.
No, the government has the power as far as the money that's spent on it, cuz. They the ones that's cutting the deals. They the ones that's spending the dollars on these barrels or making or putting the price on these barrels of oil.
But at the end of the day, have you seen a reduction in we're pumping now more oil than anyone ever has in history in this country. We've been doing that under Biden. Have you seen the cost of your gasoline go down significantly? No, because we don't even sell our own oil that we pump here to ourselves.
He is an authoritarian. He is. That man's gonna. Oh yeah, watch.
You don't. I mean,
it's been 30 days of chaos.
Steve understands.
Depending on what you look at.
It's been chaos. Stop it.
Chaos.
Complete chaos. People don't even know if they're actually fired from their jobs or not. Do you know the him?
You know why?
People back there like, hey, you're unfired, bro. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's illegal.
It
was illegal what he did. It's illegal for him to tell people that he can give them a deal that's not already in a congressional budget. Okay. It's not in a congressional budget for him to say, you know what? If you leave your job right now, I'm going to pay you until September and do these X, Y, and Z things for you. It was illegal for him to do from the beginning because it's not budgeted in the budget. That's where the purse strings to the government are held by Congress, not by the president. It's illegal. So he's lying to people by even saying that to them. So if people would have left their job, so they would have got nothing. Dude is a man. Come on, we got to stop treating this like this is not what we don't know what this is. We got to start looking at. He's only here for.
I say this to Wes all the time. One thing I liked about Joe Biden or a Democrat in office. I didn't have to see them every day. I didn't have to hear about everything they did every day. Maybe he tripped up the stairs, whatever. This man is relentless, and I mean, it's entertainment to me because I'm black. I don't give a fuck. But you know what I'm saying? Like he is relentless. This dude's on there Saturday talking about, yo, I ain't gotta obey the law because I am the law. Set phone down, goes back to watching TV. Bring the cats up, bitches.
Yeah, Steve said that's been reversed. It's been reversed that there was a freeze on that. Now, what he's saying is it's not been reversed that it's legal for him to do it. It's not legal. He doesn't even have the money to do it. You have to take that out of the federal budget. Where's he going to take it from? He can't just move money around in the budget. If it's already a budget and this is what this is, it's on paper, it's been signed, you cannot just move money around. It's illegal for him to do so.
He can suspend it, can't he?
I mean, he
can create an executive order to suspend.
No, what was illegal behind what he did was him even offering that was illegal. Go ahead, though.
You think about him freezing all those federal funds. That's the danger right there that people aren't understanding. You think like people think of federal funds. Oh, it's going to pay politicians. It's going to, no. This keeps your roads together. This keeps your water clean. Like this stops your house from burning down because they're checking the electricity to make sure the wires are correct and shit.
But once again, D-Mac, that's your opinion.
It keeps way stations open so that people can actually. No.
That's your guys' opinion, right? But here's the thing.
That's a fact.
That's real.
Okay, now this is the part that I don't like because when you guys get to talk like that, you guys are listening to sources from the Democrats that are.
But it has to be budgeted.
This is the one thing about the Democrats that I don't like. They're very famous for fear mongering.
Fear mongering, both sides.
They create fear.
Oh man, the biggest fear monger. They're going to steal the election. The immigrants are eating your cats and your dogs. The immigrants are taking your jobs. The biggest fear mongers in the world. What are we talking about?
No, they both do. Now, come on, the Democrats be like, come on, black people, you need to vote for us because the other side.
The Democrats do it way more, bro.
And what did his policies come out and show? Poison in the blood of America. This is that and third. You could not ever be my judge because you're Mexican. Come on, as we talk about rapists and murderers, we're going to speak facts here, man. We're not going to sit around and play about this. We're going to speak.
No one said that yet. No, he's Trump. He's in his own league.
I mean, let's look at
pro-facial here.
I mean, how I look at Trump right there, man, is I think that he's scapegoating immigrants just like Hitler scapegoated Jews in his country. But even worse, because there was probably merit behind some of the things that Hitler was saying. You know what I mean? I said that earlier, Steve.
But you know the thing about Hitler.
About Biden.
The thing about Hitler that people don't talk about is how much of a genius he was.
That's what I'm saying. He was an intelligent man. Very intelligent.
Very intelligent. When it came to
military strategy,
taking care of his people and all that, it's just he just didn't like Jews.
And he was part Jewish. So let's be real here. Hitler was part Jewish. This is what it is. Yeah, man.
Go read the Hitler letter.
I'm not. You know what I'm not. You know what I'm not going to go. You know what I'm not probably doing. I look at him.
Go read the Hitler letter.
No,
I
I'm
don't.
good.
I'm not going to tout him as
I'm all right.
like he's some type of a hero because he killed and he murdered a lot of people. And when Jesse Owens came to his country, turned his back on him, treated him negatively too because he was a black man. I'm not about to sit back and give that man any kind of real praise because he wasn't good for the world. He wasn't. He murdered millions of people. He went to war in countries he didn't have to for his own aggrandizement. He was on drugs. He was a drug addict. I'm not about to sit back and act like he was a great person.
What's the difference from him killing millions of people and then Americans
Leopold killed millions too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but what's the difference from that and America letting their government and the police officers kill millions of black people? You know what I'm saying? Like just because what we like the way one dances and we don't like the mustache of another.
I'm gonna keep it real. This is what I really think about this entire process. It's all about direction to me. It's not about anything else. It's about where the direction of this country is actually going. Like I understand what this country is. You're looking at 3 men on this pod, and we appreciate you being here with us too, Steve. We love. I like the way that you.
We hope to see you come back next Sunday with us.
But
if you can show your face, you can come on. I can send you a link, and you can come and talk with us.
Absolutely. But what I look at, so you know where I stand when it comes to any of that kind of stuff. We've been through a lot in this country, and our people before us have been through a lot in this country. However, what is the direction this country is going in? Are we building or are we breaking down? And all I see is Trump doing is breaking down, period. He's not building anything greater. He has concepts of a plan, but he doesn't have any kind of replacement plan for anything. He wants to get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. But what is he going to do to fix it when it's broken? It's, you know, I mean, what's it going to be every 4 years? Someone's going to have to come in and fix what the last president did. We're an unreliable partner around the world because of people like him and because of the people in our country who vote for people like him. That's hold
on. You said we unreliable.
Yes, we're an unreliable.
No, hold on. We when Biden was in office, we was the biggest joke ever.
How? Tell me how?
Because
they thought he was old. He looked old. Who lost a million? Who lost 1 million people in war? Did we lose a million people in war, or did our biggest adversary lose a million people in war? When
was the last time Israel was at war?
I'll
wait.
They're at war all the time. They're at war all the time.
Let's be real here. Do we believe in?
Come on, D-Mac.
Do you believe that
they attacked us back in the 80s?
I mean, back in the 50s.
When was the last time Israel was at war where it was?
Do you believe that was a war? You believe how many troops did Israel lose? Do you think they lost more than 20 troops in that whole entire conflict? I don't call it a war. I call that an attack. So let's be real here. Do we believe that things have consequences, that actions have consequences? So do we believe that when Trump was in office, when he said, "I'm gonna name Jerusalem the capital of Israel," when Jerusalem was divided between Palestinian people and Israeli people, East and West Jerusalem? Do we believe that when he killed Soleimani in Iraq, which was Iranian, their chief of their like their chief of their military, he killed him there? Do we believe that? Do we believe that had a consequence to this? Do we believe any of that? You know, what I mean, there's a lot of things that
to what.
To Hamas, who are Iranian-backed militants attacking.
When Trump is in office, guess what?
2020, he killed him.
The people the people around the world don't play.
You know
they
what, man?
Scared of him. He told them, "I'll kill you."
You know what? At the end of the day, you think people don't want a war to end, another world war. No one wants that. He don't care about going, because, you know, ain't he bone spurs? He didn't even he was supposed to go to war. No one's ever had to ask me. They never put me on the list and had me go sign up, whether or not I was being drafted or not. But he was. And what did he say? I'm hurt. I can't do it. He couldn't make it when it was his turn to go serve this country, but he'll send your kids and my kids into that war because he's soft in reality. Let's look at him. Let's be honest for who he is. He is not a tough man like he pretends to be. Remember, he had that conversation. He said the tough kid from the bad part of town came and he hit him so hard and this, that, and third. He's showing you he's soft. He's not a warrior. He's a tough talker, but he's not a tough individual himself. He'll send your kids into war. He'll say, "Oh yeah, they definitely don't want to go to war with me." It's not him. It's your kids, because he sure as hell ain't gonna do it. We both know that. You know what I mean? Let's be real. Yeah, okay. When did he kill Iranian-backed leaders? Not probably after the fact. I mean, it probably came in after the fact.
I want to ask October. The question, cuz D-Mac.
Yes.
I was talking to Cuz earlier.
Clinton dodged too. It's good. Go ahead. No,
go ahead. Hold on. Clinton dodged what?
He's talking about dodge the draft. I mean, does that make it?
Nobody. No, let's keep it real, bro. Nobody. I never met a single person that's proud to go to fight in Vietnam. I mean, it's something you did for your country, but nobody's looking at that as that. You know,
to me, man, if you don't advocate war with other people's kids, if it was your turn and you didn't go ahead and do what you had to do, period. I never was a part of a draft. I'm not saying I would have wanted to go. I didn't sign up for the military. That wasn't my calling in life. I had
That's
other callings.
Yeah.
However, you know what I mean? When it was your turn to
that
go,
is a fact. It has skyrocketed since he took office the last 2 months.
okay. I mean, we act like we
Because
don't know
now they can go. You go kill people with immunity. America's back.
and they really feel like they're going to defend a president who pretty much will take and do whatever. Look at what happened on January 6th, man.
See, we live I live in a military town.
Look what's going on here.
Military and stuff. So yeah, thanks for your service. But yeah, no, my dad was in the military. He was a chief petty officer. He was a CB. So yeah, no, I've been in militaries all my life.
And I like me personally, I had a conversation last night with a guy who was in the military, and I felt like, you know, I mean, I'm gonna give the respect that's due always to a person who was in the military. However, that does not stop the conversation. It doesn't end that I was in the military, so I know what I'm talking about more than what other people do. You know what I mean? So I'm always going to give respect to our troops and stuff like that. However, at the end of the day, our conversation is always going to be had. You know what I mean? That's part of it. It doesn't stop at I served or I didn't serve. So I feel like we all serve our country in different ways, but making the ultimate sacrifice
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I don't think a person because you serve in the military makes you better than I am. I respect what you do, but that's one thing
it does if you haven't served. What does that mean? It does what?
It's a choice. Everybody have a choice.
Exactly.
Unless you're being drafted.
And most people, in my personal opinion, I've had many people in my family serve in the military. A lot of people. And it wasn't because they were just so pumped and amped to go to the military. A lot of it was because they came from poverty situations. And those are the people, that's probably why they're going to go serve. And a lot of those guys actually believe in Trump. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to get my son in right now, and I asked the recruiter. I said,
to speak about serving the country.
I asked the recruiter. I said, man, the way you talking, the way it sounded, I'm ready to go sign up myself. I'm 43, so he said I just missed the cutoff because the cutoff was 42. I was ready to go serve. No, he said it was 42 for the
really. Okay,
yeah, 42 years old.
Ready to go to the military? Ain't no way.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
I'm not saying I'm not, but some people, that's what they love to do. I have family members who have kids who went to the military when their parents went to the military. So sometimes it's something that runs in families as well.
A lot of people that go to the military, they do it for financial, education.
Absolutely.
They're gonna take care
travel
of
the world. You know what I mean?
But
they go a lot of times to areas of our country where it's more downtrodden, where people don't have as many opportunities, and they go there and they try to recruit people from those areas. I think that. Definitely, I believe that some of the things that Democrats do definitely hurt recruitment efforts around the world. I mean, just the whole entire agendas that has been pushed by Democrats, as far as like even with the trans agendas, things like that, that probably did hurt military recruitment. I mean, even with the COVID vaccines, the same thing with the vaccines as well. That probably hurt recruitment when you're forcing people to get a vaccine that they don't believe in. I never got the vaccine. You know,
Democrats also did large campaigns to demasculate men also. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're in this situation now. You know what I'm saying? They're a weak party. That's all it is. I mean, we saw that from the last election. We saw that from when the people try to overthrow the government. You're a weak party. That's all it is. You don't have the fortitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have the fortitude to do it. They didn't have the fortitude to do what was right. That's why we're in this situation now.
Give that man a round of applause for the comment that I've been wanting to hear ever since I've been joining this dang line.
I feel like sometimes you try to keep a norm, and I believe that when you break apart those norms, like it's been broken apart since Trump has been here, just the way that he does business, the way he speaks on, presidential debates will never be the same again because of Donald Trump, because of the way he is. People think that that's a common man's way of doing business, but it really degrades your fabric of your society. Period. He brought in a different kind of way of doing business that'll never set America back on the course it used to be. You used to have respect to be president. You got to have that no more.
They keep thinking they can run a woman against him, which is just ridiculous. When Joe Biden ran against him, he won. When Hillary did, she lost. And when you did Kamala, she lost. You don't. I mean, I'm not knocking women, so I don't want anybody to think this or whatever. But Donald Trump's a man. He's like an old school man's man. And to beat a man like that, you need a man's man.
What I'm saying? To me, man, I don't a person who calls names and all that kind of that to me is like, that's soft to me. That don't show that you're a man, or little Marco, or on the sweaty this and the weirdo stuff, man. That to me shows like the worst of our society, because whenever I have a real conversation with people who are like real Trumpers, that's what they do. Oh, you're fucking them. They go into that because that's their mental capacity. They only can function at a certain mental capacity. That doesn't go for all Trump people, don't get me wrong, but a good majority of them. can only function at a certain capacity. It's either name calling, and they take that as being strength. That's not strength. That's weakness to me. Anybody who we know who knew people like that know that that's weakness. So would I rather have an absentee president like Biden? I mean, to me, Biden, don't get me wrong. At the end of Biden's presidency, it was tough to watch. When I saw that,
he wasn't in charge. You saw that
I'm
debate.
not
Hold on.
Hey, this
muted.
is what this
You're
is what
muted.
you're muted right now because I don't know why.
Okay, no. I was telling Steve to share. We want all your family and friend members here next week to join us for this conversation because I know y'all coming with straws and whiskey, and I'm here for
it. Hey, this is what I'm gonna say. Biden, man, at the end of his presidency, it was tough to watch. If Biden would have been the same Biden he was 4 years previous, he would have beat Trump. He would have beat Trump hands down because in reality, Biden's presidency was strong. It was good.
Biden would have won if he never did the debate because he wouldn't have known. But I mean, think about it. And people are like, wait, hold on. Y'all was lying the whole time about his mental decline. The whole time. You guys knew.
Never in charge. I don't believe that. I believe Biden
Did you
was
say
a part of the game.
Administration was strong? Did you just say
that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If we can't look at our economy, okay, the world went into a recession.
Hold on, let me get into that. I just remembered what I wanted to ask D-Mac because I just had a brain fart. I'm like, God dang, I can't. You ain't see how Rondo you today. Like, hold on. D-Mac, how do you feel about? Because I asked Cuz the same question. Why did Biden pardon his whole family, and they didn't even commit a crime?
Well,
how can you pardon somebody that haven't committed a crime?
Well, think about it, bro. They came at his son. Technically for
nothing. For nothing. They said basically you were on drugs. Go ahead.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's holding up pictures of his dick in congressional hearings. You know what I'm saying? Like for nothing. I'm gonna pardon everybody that fucks with me. You have to because they think about it, they came after his son. I don't see Don Jr.'s over there tasting cocaine in the middle. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? You know what I'm saying?
You still do that?
Why did they come after his son?
Because they couldn't get him. They couldn't get him.
They've been talking about Hunter
because they put all them felonies. Let's just be real.
That's not true. That's not true.
Time out. Let's be real. Some of the charges that Trump was found guilty of was fraudulent.
I didn't like.
They shouldn't have been brought up.
Let me say this.
Man.
I didn't like.
He was on drugs. They just assumed he was on drugs.
I didn't like the campaign one that they came out and with, but it's a real crime. You cannot use campaign finances to pay somebody off. He could have just used. He should have just used his own money. He should have just used his own money to pay her off.
You guys bring up charges on this dude because y'all thought that if you get him found guilty, he can't run for the presidency. He got found guilty and still won.
This is what I'm gonna say.
Fauci and Cheney should get pardons because I mean, look, what he was able to do, he left the rest of us high and dry, right? But Donald Trump is on a revenge tour. Look, they're coming after the prosecutors in New York right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they're coming after him. Look, and so look, Dr. Fauci. Look, you can be mad at Dr. Fauci all you want, but he's a doctor, bro. He tried to save lives. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna get everything right? No, nobody's fucking perfect. You know what I'm saying?
They said that he did lie. I talked to my friend Chad. He said he lied about was it gain of function research or something. He went in front of the he did something that he wasn't supposed. He basically said that he was that COVID wasn't a part. He wasn't a part of some type of gain of function research result, that it didn't come from that, and he knew it did something. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he doesn't have darkness around him too, dark clouds around him too. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? So this is not me saying, but at the end of the day, man, when we first came into this, they were coming after Hunter Biden from the jump. I remember when I went to go buy it, I was buying the houses years before they even came at Trump about any charges at all. He was talking to me about Hunter Biden and Hunter Biden's laptop then. You know what I mean? So they've been coming after Hunter Biden for a while, but Biden never voted for Hunter Biden.
Just him.
I don't care what Hunter Biden did. It ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? So am I going? So when I was telling you about that,
Hunter Biden's not an elected official. He was just his son, and they couldn't get to Joe Biden, so they came after his son. It was actually cold game to watch the whole thing. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, and with me, what I'm going to do, I told, like I said earlier, if it's me, anyone who runs a business or who has any kind of who files taxes, you can find something wrong on those taxes and come after them. That's federal. That's a federal crime to write anything that you may not write off some stuff that you didn't do anything. And if I'm Trump, and if I'm like, okay, you came after me, I'm gonna come after people in your family.
You think he's not going to? We think that this man right here and his DOJ are not going to do that. They're talking about freezing funds to sanctuary cities in blue states, not paying for the for fire cleanup over in California. Let's be real,
Here
man.
in Washington,
Do you
also,
think that
fire
they're not
cleanup.
going to attack his family?
They froze the money here in Washington. They froze it for fire cleanup, fire cleanup, and to redo the ports. So $300 million frozen.
I mean, we can say the same thing about Jared Kushner, though, Steve. I mean, when they just gave him $3 billion out of nowhere from the Middle East, I think Saudi Arabia gave him like 1.5 or 2 billion, and other countries gave him that. We can say the same thing when what was that? What's his daughter Ivanka got the money from China after he lifted the sanctions on them or wherever that was that he put on them before. We can say the same thing. It happens all the time. We know this. Just like he went to Ukraine and said, you know what, if you guys give me information on Joe and Hunter Biden, I'll do X, Y, and Z for you. He had a phone call. They got him on a phone call doing this.
And now it's not illegal to do it.
I mean, it's just facts, man. This is what's been going on. But when I say that I like Joe Biden's presidency, is because of what was manufactured. We know, we manufacture now more chips in this country. This is semiconductor chips. We weren't for a minute during COVID. Remember when there were no new cars? The price of cars went up through the roof because no one could get semiconductor chips. They weren't making new phones. A lot of things were going on because all semiconductor chips are made in Taiwan, which is 100 miles off the shore of China, which China has already claimed and said that's Taiwan's a part of us. So we got to look at what the Democrats have done. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be an issue later.
I knew it.
What's that?
Because Donald Trump told the U.S. Mint to stop making pennies, got you upset.
They stopped making pennies 3 years ago. They haven't made a new penny in 3 years.
Hey, because it costs 2 cents to make a penny. They said it costs like 2 cents to make 1 penny. It's crazy that they even
That's crazy.
have pennies anymore.
I think they should be giving nickels. Like, when's the last time you bought anything?
Do we understand that they're now what they're going to be doing here pretty soon? You get rid of pennies. You know what? Elon just made the deal with Visa for him and X. They got the deal where they're going to make a Zelle kind of occurrence. Yeah, man, but he got all of our information. I had a guy go online and was like, you guys are mad at Elon Musk for having your social security number, but you're not mad at your credit card companies, a car dealership, all these people that you choose, that you want to give your information to for a reason. But I ain't choose to give Elon Musk my information. But they're like naming all these places that are like, you're not mad about them having your social security number. Well, they asked me. And I said, okay. I signed and I agreed to it. What is he cooking though, man? Because it's not like cooking pig's feet right now. I like pig. I'll go say chitlins, really. That's not like he cooking chitlins. You know what I'm saying? I ain't eat chitlins, but pig's feet I buy every now and then.
I ain't eat none of that slave food, bro. It's free. Eat a taco.
Hey, cuz you like pig's feet?
No,
I don't love it. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't eat pork no more as much as I used to. I still eat bacon. But
if I eat pork, it'd be bacon.
Yeah, that's it. Some ham, maybe, or something like that. Yeah, or like a hot link or something like that. Yeah, but I don't buy that. But the fact of the matter is, if somebody cooks some pig's feet, I'm gonna eat it, bro. That's real deal. I'm not against. I'm not.
That disgusting food, folks. This has been our town hall meeting. Thank you all for joining us today. Actually, sir, if you'd like to stay, I'm gonna go lay on my couch. Because
go ahead, guys.
What I'm gonna say to Steve, we appreciate you coming. We do this every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do it live every Sunday. We'd love to have you on more often. We appreciate you, tapping in with us and actually providing good content, saying things that make sense. You know what I mean? Like you're a learned person. You know what you're talking about.
Invite your friends, invite your family, share.
Yes, Steve, come back next week, and then when I just leave a comment, and I'll put the link there in the bottom.
Because Steve, I voted for our president. 45-47.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining our show. We will see you next Sunday.
45-47.
We're gonna see you next week too, cuz. I hope to see you too, bro.